My greetings to you and my greetings to all our audience. So, of course, when Donald Trump wins the election in Ukraine, we understand that it will be the course of another color compared to his predecessor, Joe Biden, who, of course, say that, first of all, who have no talks with President Putin and who say that there will be no talks about Ukraine without Ukraine. Now, Mr. Trump, when he became the president, he decided to change the situation. He started connection with President Putin, and at least according to Bloomberg, quite possible that it will be talks about Ukraine without Ukraine. But what I want to say, Ukraine understands that risks. That's why in October of previous year, the month before president election in US, Ukraine presented our victory plan, and 2 of 5 items of that plan, as for me, was oriented directly on Donald Trump, oriented on his ideas. That's why Ukraine start preparation for this new shift, and it means that it's not the end of the story. Yes, this was predictable, as we can predict Trump, because the only thing that we can say about Trump that we can predict his unpredictability. But it means that really new reality comes, and we should think what to do in this new reality. And first of all, it should be not that in the story. It should be not defeat of Ukraine or capitulation of Ukraine. So we will see what will be in the next months or till the end of this year. Thank you.
So with the exclusion of European leaders from US-Russia negotiations, what does this mean for Europe's role in shaping Ukraine's post-war security?
You know, Donald Trump, he start conflicts with European Union as he do in his first term, when he was a president after 2016 victory in election till 2021. And really, it was a period of really hot relationship between Europe and Trump. And now Trump wants to return to this epoch. He start talks about higher tariffs on European products. And now he tried to say that there will be talks between US and Russia about destiny of Ukraine that actually situated in Europe and that plan to be in the European Union. That's why Kaja Kallas, the foreign representative of European Commission, he said that that each talks about Ukraine without Ukraine and without Europe are hardly be successful, because first of all, it's Ukrainian army on the field is determining what should be as Russia army from the opposite side, and European Union still want to support Ukraine. But as for me, Trump like to say that Ukraine should be non-US but European problem, and quite possible that it's a pressure on Europe to pay more attention on Ukraine and to take more obligations on Ukrainian future and more help to Ukraine in our battle versus Russia. Thank you.
Trump's suggestion that Ukraine may need to make territorial concessions. How does this impact Kiev's position and international alliances?
Of course, Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, he is the Secretary of Defense, they said that, it's reality, it's not a loss of Ukraine, but it's reality. But reality every day can change. Half a year ago, no one could imagine Ukrainian soldiers on the Russian territory. But now, half a year ago, Ukraine succeeded to control small part of Russia, Kursk region, and we're still there. So Russia made their best to send our troops out of Kursk region, and thus we're there. I mean that in the war, it's hard to predict what could be, because sometimes the course of events so change that in a month or so, the current events will be something uninteresting, as I said, situation could change. So for United States of America, they could not understand that it's our territory, it's our people, and sacrificing by our territory is not a good idea. Let's imagine someone proposed to US, for example, to return some territory to Mexico. I don't think that they will be glad. So the same situation with Ukraine.
So given the shift in US policy under Trump, do you believe that Ukraine's full participation in negotiations is still feasible or realistic?
I think Ukraine can be a part of that negotiation. First of all, due to the fact that, as I said, our army on the field. As for the United States of America, I think that for them the main question is pressure on Europe, and if Europe will demonstrate more activity in supporting Ukraine, US can say, okay, as Donald Trump said, that we will not leave Ukraine, so they will help to Ukraine, but they need Europe to do more. And European countries, that is NATO, should have more expenditures for security area. And that is the Trump target. And let's be frank, as I said, in our victory plan, we start to talk about minerals in Ukrainian soil. And that is the argument that can press to Trump that if you want to get control over $500 billion that you mentioned, so first you should help the Ukraine to win this war, and then, of course, you can think about those minerals, but not vice versa.
So, how critical is the upcoming Munich Security Conference in shaping Europe's approach to the evolving US-Russia peace process?
Of course, it's important because, first of all, Europe and US should be on the one side. Because now, after a statement about Greenland, we have a fear that the tension between Europe and US start growing again. And we don't need that. You know that the situation that now happening in Gaza led to the fact that two main NATO armies appeared on the different side of this war. I mean, Turkey and US, that is the first and the second army of NATO. The same situation in help with Ukraine, that we need US and Europe and Turkey actually be in the same team helping Ukraine, because without such support for us, it will be very hard. It doesn't mean that it's the end of our story, but at least for Ukraine, it will be hard. So I think that Munich conference should make a response to one simple question: whether Europe and US are still one team or not.
So could Trump's diplomatic thaw with Russia signal a broader change in global geopolitical dynamics, particularly for Ukraine's future?
I think he tried to do that. So, of course, Russia idea to divide world between them and the United States. But let's be frank, Russia is not a big player. Russia was a global player when Russian soldiers were in the Syria land. But after changes of power in Syria, we see Russia out of this country. And now, returning to your previous talk, I think that now Qatar could give investment to gas pipeline from Qatar to Europe, to Turkey and then to Europe. And that will be money that need to Syria to survive without Russian support and to purchase agriculture product, for example, from Ukraine. So that's why our foreign minister was in Syria. So I mean that, of course, Russia losing its position, and US should take into account the fact that Russia is not such a serious player as they was in time when Trump was for the first time president.
Okay, finally, Mr. Yuas, what steps should Ukraine take to ensure its interests are protected amid this rapid shift in US foreign policy?
First of all, this deal about land minerals. So it's something that could interest US, because you know that it's a very good phrase that make as many person interested in your victory and you receive that victory. So United States of America, from the Ukrainian point of view, should understand that Ukrainian victory in this war not only increase their meaning in the global world, but also it can give a chance to yes to receive some entrance to Ukrainian soil, to Ukrainian minerals, as we start talk with Mr. Bessam, the Secretary of Finance in the United States of America. So that is Ukrainian arguments. Plus another argument that US want to substitute their soldiers in Europe, and they can be substituted by Ukrainian soldiers. But for that we need only to think Ukrainian victory and Ukrainian NATO, and that's all.